Equity and margin. In the previous tutorial, we looked at an example where the broker lends you 99% of the required amount in order to conduct a transaction in the Forex market. And that's when your leverage is 1 to 100. Well, that money that you invest, that 1% of the transaction, in this case it was $123, that is called your margin for this particular transaction. So let's look at how these concepts work on your account when this all happens in practice. So for instance, in our example, we have $500 on the account. When you decide to enter that transaction of 0.1 lots on the euro dollar, $123 on your account are frozen. It's a technical term, meaning that this money is reserved for your margin for that particular transaction. The broker lends you $12,199, and so together the red and the green, they comprise the required amount of $12,322. This red amount is called the margin, as we discussed. The blue amount is 500 minus $123, and it's $377, and it's called the equity. Now, this is the initial setup as soon as you enter into the transaction. Now we will find out why the broker is actually willing to provide you this money, this huge lump sum, this green box on the left here. So what happens if the market goes against you? Well, let's say, for instance, the market went a certain number of pips against you, and the equity has reduced by $100. So on the Forex market, equity is updated all the time, and when say you lose money from a transaction, you can see it eat into your equity right away. So for instance, your equity has gone down by 100. Now your available equity is only 277. So if you want to conduct any more transactions, you'll only have that 277 equity to work with. Next, if the market keeps going against you, your equity keeps reducing. So as you can see, the green money that was borrowed has not been touched yet, neither has the margin. So what happens when all of your equity gets eaten up by this transaction? Well, right away, a stop out will happen. The broker will force you out of your position. Basically, as soon as you don't have enough money on your account, the broker will close the position automatically and take the money that you borrowed from them back, and you will be left with just the margin on your account. So kind of the margin in this case is the safety net. So as soon as the market goes against you so much that you only have the margin on your account, the broker will pull away the money that it lent you and close your transaction. And therefore, in that way, the broker is protected. The broker will never lose this money that they lent you, unless there's like a crazy market move where they don't have enough time to trigger the stop out. So one more thing, usually before the stop out, you get a margin call. So the margin call is like a warning saying, oh, your position's about to be closed at stop out, do something about it. And at that stage, you can actually intervene manually. That's why a broker is willing to lend traders money, because it facilitates the participation in the Forex market, but it is also a very protected way. Normally, the Forex market doesn't move more than about 1% per day, and that's why brokers can allow themselves to provide so much money to traders. For example, on the stock market, this wouldn't be possible because the movements there are much more drastic. So next, let's discuss the benefits of leverage. Let's go back to the start of our example where we just entered the trade, and let's discuss what will happen if the market goes in our favor. For example, let's say we set our take profit up there at the green dashed line, and we see a market movement in that direction. Right away, we can see that our equity has grown by $100. So we can now use all of this equity. Instead of $377, we have $477 of equity if you want to conduct more transactions on the Forex market. So that's one of the benefits. Next is when the take profit is actually reached, what happens is the money that the broker lent us, the 12,199, is taken out of our account, so it's taken back. The broker basically takes it back. Then our margin is released, so it goes to join our equity, and together they become the balance on your account. So as you can see here, even though the broker lent you money, all they're doing at the end is they're just taking it back, what they lent you. They're not penalizing you for borrowing money. They leave you all the profit that you made. It's all completely yours. And that is the most fascinating and beneficial part of using leverage, that you get all of the benefits to yourself. Of course, there are dangers with using leverage, because any movement on the market is magnified and can really impact your account if it's against you. But if you use it the right way, you can take advantage of it, earn profits that you would not be able to earn otherwise. A good way to think about leverage is by comparing it to a fast sports car. It's good to have one, and of course you'll hurt yourself if you drive too fast. But if you drive carefully and know what you're doing, then you're just going to see all the substantial benefits from it. So there's nothing bad about leverage, or about having a sports car in this case. All right, hopefully that was a very useful tutorial, because leverage is quite a complicated topic, and I really tried to explain it in quite a simple way. And don't be afraid of leverage. It can help you trading if you use it in the right way.